9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
With the snowfall, downtown Denver, closer to about 6 inches of snow. Looking outside our window, looks like 5-6 inches of snow fell out our way. So a pretty decent snowstorm for most of us here across the metro area. Our biggest snowstorm so far this season. Golden, a foot of snow. We had a shallow upslope event. What I mean by that is we had these winds coming in from the north and east at the surface. That meant that the foothills getting kind of slammed with a lot of that snowfall, while areas further east didn't do as well because, notice DIA at just 2.8 inches. You didn't have the upslope component, you didn't have the rising air near the mountains, so much less snowfall along the east of I-25, but still really impressive snowfall totals on the west side of town. Lakewood, 8.2 inches as well. And I can tell you here, again, downtown Denver, about 5-6 inches of snow seems like what we ended up with outside our doors. Seen a few reports about 4, 5, 6 inches in and around central Denver. So most of us doing pretty well. Lookout Mountain, looks like out that way, good, certainly 6 inches plus, if not closer to about a foot of snow up here into Lookout Mountain, and a very cold scene out there. That is the other big story. I've been talking about the snow, and I'll get into the cold here in just a second. So far this month, Denver, 9.2 inches worth of snowfall. For context, over the full month of November, and as a reminder, today is November the 18th, so we still got a ways to go here in the month of November, and we've already picked up more snow than what we typically get over the entire month. And it's also a bit of kind of added good news. In the last 20 years, we've noted a bit of a decline in November snowfall, specifically here in the Denver area. It's a little small of a time spell to really get a better idea of if that's the result of a warming climate, what sort of climate implications might have. It's too small of a sample size to really get into details beyond that, but we have in the last 20 years seen that Novembers haven't been as snowy as they were in the past, and this is a nice little I guess reversal of that trend. So good to see Denver already above its average November snowfall with about 9 inches already officially at DIA. Downtown probably closer to about 10-11 inches so far this winter season. So bye-bye snow. It's mostly here in just southern Colorado. I'll show it to you on HD Doppler radar here in just a second. The story is the cold. With the weekend, we do gradually warm things up, and next week looks pretty nice overall as well. HD Doppler radar, again, statewide, maybe a few high-level clouds still in place over the Denver area. Those should dissipate, and what you're seeing there actually on the satellite, that is actually the fresh snowpack that you can see. And you can also notice that really sharp divide there, the continental divide on east, getting a lot of the snowfall along and west of the divide, not as much snow. Southern Colorado, good 5-6 inches on the west side of Colorado Springs. Downtown about 3-4 inches. Forest in Colorado Springs. Pueblo about 2-2.5 inches of snow so far in Pueblo. That snow coming to a close out in southern Colorado as well, but along and south of Highway 50, still a few snow showers taking place. Careful if you're driving up by Levada Pass and down through Raton Pass. That's where that snow is still flying in a few cases. Any snow, though, dissipates over the next couple of hours. That'll give way to clear but cool conditions for tonight. Temperatures right now, it is just 15 degrees for us here in Denver. That fresh snowpack to help insulate some of that colder air. Temperatures across the state, teens and 20s for us, with the exception of southwest Colorado on the warm side in the 30s. That's relatively speaking in terms of those warm temperatures out in that part of the state. 24-hour temperature differential. We are much colder, especially in southeast Colorado compared to this time yesterday, but we do start to warm back up for our day tomorrow. Wind chill, that's something we're going to really watch for. We did have sub-zero wind chills early this morning in the Denver area. By the way, we did drop down to a low of 8 degrees in Denver this morning. That made it our coldest November temperature since 2019 and our earliest single-digit readings in Denver since 2014. So it's pretty early for us to be as cold as this. Far from unheard of. It happens happens fairly regularly, but again, it's not an every year thing, every other year thing even, that we drop down this cold this early. So certainly a very Arctic air mass, and the origin of this air mass, fun fact, it lays on up in, this air mass comes directly from northern Canada and Alaska. This is coming straight from the Arctic, so just give you a little context on that. Today, temperatures only topping out in the mid-20s. For context, our average high this time of year, mid-50s. So we are running 30 degrees below average for our day today. And winds will be on the light side. That's one saving grace, but don't be fooled by that deceptive sunshine. It looks kind of inviting out there a little bit, maybe. Even with that fresh snowpack, it is bitterly cold, and it's going to stay that way for tonight. Might even have to drop these lows a little lower because of two things. One, the fresh snowpack. Two, the relatively light winds. And three, clear skies. It's kind of the perfect recipe to get some really cold temperatures here in the Denver area, and I do think we will drop those temps on down to the single digits, if not down, maybe even a little colder than this morning. Wouldn't be surprised if we get down to 6 or 7 tomorrow morning. So a very, very cold start as we head into your Saturday and the start of the weekend. Good news is, though, those temperatures are going to rebound pretty nicely for a day tomorrow. Highs will get on up into the low 40s, and yes, that is still well below average, and yes, that is not warm, but it is going to feel like Maui compared to today and yesterday. Temperatures certainly going to be much warmer than where they've been, and then the next 7 days, things really do get back closer to seasonal levels pretty quickly here. So this cold spell, the bit of good news is it's at least short-lived in terms of just how cold it is right now, these 20s, low 30s, that sort of stuff. Now that goes away pretty quickly, so that's the good news. Highs tomorrow, getting low 40s, even some mid 40s, depending on which part of state you are in. 7-day forecast, and also, by the way, looking ahead to next Wednesday, Thursday, with Thanksgiving in mind, the important travel holiday, it does look like we stay dry. We don't have a whole lot in the way of snow on the horizon. Really not much exciting weather to tell you about past today, and the really cold temperatures for tomorrow morning as well. We rebound those temps nicely, so if you're heading to the Broncos game on Sunday, looks a-okay. 2:05 kickoff. Should have lots of sunshine. It will be chilly at times, especially for the second half, but nothing we can't manage out there in Power Field, especially with all that sunshine. Should make things feel a bit warmer. Low 50s Monday and Tuesday before we briefly dip back down, but it looks like Friday for Black Friday and for next weekend looks pretty warm with highs near 60 perhaps by then. 41 straight hours below freezing right now here in Denver, and well, we've probably got another 24 to 30 to go. It doesn't look like we'll climb above freezing until late tomorrow morning, so we got a ways to go with these sub-freezing temperatures here in the Denver area. So again, those top takeaways: the cold, and the cold. It is really cold out there. The snow, watch out, by the way, for some patchy black ice tonight and tomorrow morning. We will see probably some partial melting because of the sun. Of course, it's going to be sunny today. That should melt off some of the snow in the sun, and that means it'll refreeze tonight once the sun goes down. So just watch out for black ice. And as always, remember that bridges and overpasses freeze over first. So keep that in mind as well. And we'll see that patchy black ice continue for tomorrow morning, and then we should really start to melt things on off. I think by the end of the weekend, most of the snow will be over and done with. And then we've got a pretty nice week ahead, and that should mean good travel weather for the upcoming Thanksgiving holidays. Hopefully that answers your questions. If not, meteorologist Keely Chalmers will have an update for you coming up at 9 news at noon. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin's in at 4 and 5, and then Meteorologist Lauren Robinson's in at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News Family of Networks. Once again, I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Friday and weekend, and stay warm.